saw a horrifying looking image. Head of gold, breast of silver, but all the way down to the feet. And the feet of all things, which should be the strongest because that's what the entire image stands on, the feet were iron mixed with clay. That's exactly where the elite are right now. There is discord, there is disagreement, there is confusion amongst the elite themselves. I learned this many years ago when I lived with these people for 3 years. They're not really in love with each other. They stick together solely for the purpose of being able to accomplish their own devious plans, but they'd cut each other's throat in a minute's time. And right now, there is iron mixed with clay, exactly as God's holy word said there would be amongst the elite. And it frightens me to think because, well, let me put it this way. Old men talk. Let me try to explain it if I can. My first elitist friend, who has been giving me information for so many years, just before he died, he said, "Chaplain, I'm too old to care. Just tell the world everything." My present elitist friend is telling me a lot of things. I'd like you to consider a few things that they know, and you need to give some consideration to them also concerning this year of 2012 and the debt crisis that we're in. Number one, now I don't place any credence necessarily in this, but at least you need to consider it. That was a civilization at one time by the name of the Mayans. They were very advanced in their knowledge. They created a time clock and a calendar that has never been equaled on the face of the earth. But yet they didn't have all modern day advancements. The Mayans have a calendar that goes through December the 21st, 2012. Now, there's a reason for that. And they said at that point, a new era begins. Well, the elite know something also. They know at this point what the debt clock looks like. And they have a timetable for which they are going to see to it that the entire world is in such massive debt. Let me try to explain it by coming down to your house. Your house, you have a mortgage. Well, I hope you don't, but if you do, by the way, my suggestion is, even if you have to go to a log cabin, you get paid for a roof over your head right now. You're going to need it when the end of 2012 comes around. But at least for right now, let's say that you have a mortgage on that house. When the dollar, the reserve currency of the world, when the elite take it to where they say they're going to take it by the end of 2012, you will not have the currency necessary to be able to pay off your house mortgage. And when you can't make that payment because you've lost your job, the economy becomes worse than what it is right now, they will come in and repossess your house and turn around and either rent it back to you, or the name of the game is control. Now, this same scenario is what the elite have told me that they have planned by the end of 2012 for every nation. I hope you heard this. Every nation of the world, including the United States of America, with its trillions of dollars of debt and approximately 1.5 to 2 trillion per year of new debt that we're chalking up per year. They want every corporation, every individual, they want every state, they want every city to be so much in debt that when the dollar collapses, the reserve currency of the world, there is nothing that anybody can do about it, and basically the elite will have accomplished what they want, and that is the name of the game is control. Whether it be your house payment, whether it be your automobile, whether it be your federal government. Oh, by the way, I need to inject something here that you'll find in the future. You'll come back and say you heard it first from Lindsey Williams. Lindsey Williams first heard it from the elite. Here it is. America will default on its national debt. Did you hear that? Yes. It is already planned. It'll grow so great, America will default on its national debt. Watch. Here it is right here. Listen, if you will, as Glenn Beck tells it to you.
Billions of dollars. This is how much money do we print and have in the system at any given time. Let me start at 1929. Show me the, here we go. 1929, here's the stock market crash, all right? Now, if you see, we were on the gold standard, so we couldn't print much more money. We had the stock market crash, but we didn't do all of the stuff that we're doing now, just printing money. Go ahead, step to the next thing. And we go up to 1941. That's the Great Depression. Still haven't pumped a lot of money into the system because, again, on the gold standard. Then we have World War II, and we take this all the way to 1965. You'll see it comes up. We had two wars. We had World War II, and we also had the Korean War. In 1965, we were having the Vietnam War. But here's where it gets sticky, because we had all these wars, and we tried to dogpile on with the Great Society. Well, how are we going to pay for all that? Well, 1971, Richard Nixon says, why don't we get rid of the gold standard? So that way, we can just print whatever we want. But we promise the rest of the world, oh, no. We'll never print too much. Really, we're good for it. I mean, look at our record here. We don't do that. Great Society kicks in, and look what happens. Next point, please. Look how we've devalued our money. This is up until 2000 when we have the Y2K scare, where everybody's like, bury your food and grab your cash. The computers are going down. That's why the government put this little spike here. If you see that little spike, goes up because they just dump a lot of cash into it, and then they bring it back in. They pull it back in. But it's difficult to pull things back in, especially when you have a horrible event like 9/11. Next stop is 9/11. You'll see it's just a little spike back up just a little bit. Remember how everybody was freaked out that the world was coming to an end? Do your patriotic duty. Go spend. Go out there and get into the stock market. Well, we did. And then this is the kind of spending we get. As you see here, the federal bailout's just about to begin. We're in, let me get into my Al Gore machine. Oh, it's a real inconvenient truth now, isn't it, Al? Look at this hockey stick. This is the hockey stick that Al Gore was talking about with the, you know, the woolly mammoth coming back or whatever the hell he's talking about. Here's where we were in September last year. But then the Treasury decided we need to start printing more money. This hockey stick should take your breath away. This is devaluing our money. You know, Al Gore said global warming is not a political issue, it's a moral one. Thomas Jefferson said doing this to our children is immoral, and I agree with him. We have pumped all of this money in and devalued our money. How is it not going to be worthless? This has never, ever been done by anybody ever before. Please share this video with everybody you know, all your friends. Please go to foxnews.com/Glenn Beck. We're going to make this available for you. Pass it on to your friends. This is real trouble. Not in 1,000 years. Perhaps in the next year.
It to you. Now let's go to Europe. Europe is in big trouble. Rodney, I'd like to lean on you for a moment if I can. What's happening over there in Europe? There's some very disturbing things that's affecting our whole financial system here in America.
Well, absolutely. You see the troubles in Greece. Well, let's call it the pigs, like they're referred to in our circles. Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. These are the countries that are in most dire economic trouble, and these are the countries that are realizing the most challenge in keeping their system afloat. But these are also countries that have focused on a socialistic style of government, whereas the government takes care of all of the people. People are allowed to retire at age 50 with a lifetime income similar to what they had while they were working. And you can't, that's an unsustainable business model. And it's just not able to work, as we've seen in our own Social Security system. We'll talk about after a while. But when these things become, when the debt becomes greater than your ability to repay, you have to either default on that ability to repay or possibly devalue your currency in a way that you're paying back with currency that is less valuable than what you borrowed. And that's what we see a lot of. Now, you remember back in 2008, there was a bank called Lehman Brothers failed? Yes. Lehman Brothers, it put the entire United States economic system in a tailspin. All of the banks were scrambling. The federal government issued what we now know as TARP, which was a program designed to bail out these banks. People were just in an uproar, aggravated, upset that this had happened. One thing that they don't understand, Chaplain, is if the government had not stepped in and created TARP, all the money they had in their 401ks, their IRAs, and mutual funds would have been evaporated. As it was, a lot of people lost 40, 50, 60, even 70% of the value of their mutual funds. But, well, let me interject here. Not one of my clients lost a single penny during that time because I warned them about this situation. We got them out of those volatile tools. But what's happening is Greece is becoming like Lehman Brothers on the global economic scale. So as you see what happened in the United States with one major bank failing, now you're about to see it or are seeing it with a nation that's defaulting on its debt. And it's going to be allowed to fail. And the entire economic system as we've known it globally is going to experience what the United States experienced in 2008 and 2009. Are you ready for that? Is your financial situation ready for a multiple of what you experienced in 2008 and 2009? What we now know is the Great Recession. This new Great Recession or this new Great Depression, whichever it may become, could absolutely devastate your family's finances. I'm asking you right now, I'm telling you, move your money. If you're not sure how to do it, contact us at the Financial Leadership Academy. We'll help you. We'll help you understand how. We're not going to do it for you, but we'll help you understand how to do it. And that's so important as we educate people. The most precious gift in the world right now, Pastor, and you share it all the time, and I'm thankful that I can too, is knowledge. The most precious commodity on earth right now isn't gold or silver or paper dollars or real estate. It is knowledge. Because if you possess the knowledge and the information of what's about to happen, you can use those other tools I just shared with you to prepare yourself for those things.
You do not need to suffer. Can I say it any more emphatically? There is no reason for you to lack on your dinner table. If you will listen to what the elite have told me, if you will listen to the advice of a successful financial planner, now you'll find his email address and his phone number at the end of our first DVD. I suggest that you get educated. You do not have to suffer. And please, I beg of you, if you do not have it, I urge you to get our previous DVD series entitled The Middle East, The Rest of the Story. 3 hours of DVD viewing telling you why things are happening in the Middle East. You see, all of this was planned. They wanted the Muslim Brotherhood to take over one Arab country after the other until they made the oil supply of the world so diminished to the point that they could take the price of oil. Oh, I know, price of oil may be down for a little while, but it's going back up. The price of gold and silver may have dropped a little bit for a period of time. You haven't seen anything yet. You just wait till it gets where the elite want it, and you're going to see it go, as we mentioned earlier, an exact price. I beg of you, educate yourself, learn the facts. And when you do, you will not have to suffer what Greece has suffered. You won't have to join the people protesting in Washington, D.C. and downtown Wall Street because you have lost all of your savings. You don't have to suffer that. If you will only listen and take action yesterday, folks, I hope you heard that. I didn't say tomorrow. Don't even wait till tomorrow morning. If you'll take action immediately, you can spare yourself the heartache of the things that the elite have planned. Now, they plan for every state, every county, every city. Please, you need to hear it. I don't think anybody puts it quite as well as Eric and JJ.
The states have swept under the rug, ladies and gentlemen, and the chickens are all coming home to roost because they can no longer hide the losses at the state levels. Rhode Island, the nation's smallest state, but it may have the biggest pension problem in the country, maybe the largest in the land. The state's on the hook for billions of dollars worth of pension benefits owed to police officers, firefighters, teachers, judges, and state workers. But the money is simply not there. Projected investment gains never happened. Wall Street went in, put these guys in debt. They kept giving them raises. If you had Dow 70,000 right now, Rhode Island would be able to pay. They just can't. The money's just not there. The gains never happened, and the state actuarial projections failed to keep up with the public workers who are retiring earlier and living longer. Estimates, get this,